Mr. President, we have lost faith in the FBI, and it cannot be regained until Christopher Wray is gone. As for General Michael Flynn, there is no way to make up for the damage inflicted upon this war hero. America owes General Michael Flynn justice, no matter how or who brings it on. The lying, leaking liberal witch hunt was on the lookout for a fall guy. His name was Michael Flynn. Breaking this week, the conspiracy has become undone. Handwritten notes make clear the extent to which a group of arrogant FBI thugs endeavored to destroy a three-star general. Now we have a complete picture of exactly what the FBI was thinking and the lengths they went to accomplish their goal. In their sights, three-star General Michael Flynn. Now, in spite of their failed 2016 presidential coup, they were about to cash in on their pre-planned Russia collusion insurance policy. Michael Flynn was in the crosshairs of the FBI. Their intent evidenced in handwritten FBI notes. Quote, "What is our goal? Truth, admission, or to get him to lie so we can prosecute him or get him fired?" So why? Flynn was Obama's director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Flynn was taking issue with Susan Rice's description of Benghazi and the massacre of 4 Americans as a peaceful protest gone awry. That created problems. But it was his testimony as part of the intelligence community's open hearing to Congress that was his undoing. The White House was touting the killing of Osama bin Laden as proof that al-Qaeda was on the run. But when his time in the hearing came, General Flynn was asked if that was the case. Flynn openly stated, "They are not on the run. In fact, they are expanding, going into North Africa, training in the Middle East, and still a major threat." He was right. Remember, he spent nearly a decade fighting al-Qaeda, 5 of those years in direct combat. Flynn was fired shortly thereafter. But during his time there, Flynn made no friends with the likes of Brennan and Clapper. He wanted to streamline the intelligence agencies, all 16 or 17 of them, setting a fire under the butt of the administrative state. There was such hatred that Barack Obama, in handing over the White House reins, warned incoming President Trump to be wary of 2 people, Kim Jong-un from North Korea and a 3-star general, Michael Flynn. Now, when Flynn was appointed National Security Advisor by President Trump, the Obama sycophants and the Clinton operatives went nuts. The FBI started leaking that Flynn was a Russian operative like Trump. The FBI, in fact, was actually closing its investigation of Flynn, knowing it found, quote, "nothing derogatory." But Peter Strzok couldn't have it that way. He resurrected a new FBI crossfire razor investigation. It was time to set Flynn up. Their goal, knowing there was nothing criminal, was to get him to lie, prosecute him, to then get him to turn against the president and get him fired. Now, they sent in agents, and Jim Comey was so tickled with himself that he got away with violating the White House protocol. But McCabe actually convinced Flynn that he didn't need a lawyer, and he sent in Strzok as an interrogator who hated Michael Flynn.
And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over. And so we placed a call to Flynn, said, "Hey, we're sending a couple guys over. Hope you'll talk to them." He said, "Sure." Nobody else was there. They interviewed him in a conference room at the White House Situation Room, and he lied to them. And that's what he's now pled guilty to.
So they broke him financially, emotionally. He lost everything. They put his son, who had just had a baby, in the crosshairs, and so he pled guilty. The thank you he got for 32 years, putting his life on the line, was an Obama political takedown. Yes, Flynn pled guilty. mistaking a fact about a meaningless phone call that he knew from his years of intelligence other people were listening in on. Even FBI agents other than Strzok said they didn't think he lied. And now we know they intentionally and admittedly set him up to lie. Now the Strzok and Page texts make so much sense. The White House wants to know everything. I told you this in my books, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, as well as Radicals, Resistance, and Revenge. They laugh at us. They lie to us about who they are.
Not once in my 26 years of defending our nation did my personal opinions impact any official action I took. This is true for the Clinton email investigation, for the investigation into Russian interference, and for every other investigation I've worked on. It is not who I am, and it is not something I would ever do, period.
Peter Strzok, he lies to your face. Their mission was to change the course of American presidential history. This cabal in the FBI was pure evil. When Barack Obama sought to politicize the FBI, he couldn't have picked a better man than James Comey, who, along with Strzok and McCabe, conspired to bring down Trump as they let their friend Hillary off the hook. A war hero was railroaded while Strzok, McCabe, and Comey walked freely. Indictment must now be issued for obstruction, perjury, fraud, knowingly providing false information to a court, tampering with official records, and more. Susan Rice, another vindictive one, should be charged with lying as well as unmasking. You know, the FBI was created to protect us, to gather evidence against the guilty, to exonerate and close files regarding the innocent, not to falsely implicate them for the FBI's own political vendettas. So what now? The FBI needs a complete overhaul. The man brought in to run it is as deep in the swamp as you can get. Christopher Wray knew all that was going on. He was, like Mueller, Comey, Rosenstein, and the whole lot of them, part of the swamp. Not surprisingly, Christopher Wray was Andrew Weissman's supervisor. Wray has resisted congressional request and congressional oversight. He kept McCabe on and Strzok on. He knew Mueller's special counsel office saw these notes and did nothing. Christopher Wray is an establishment institutional cover. Mr. President, we have lost faith in the FBI, and it cannot be regained until Christopher Wray is gone. As for General Michael Flynn, there is no way to make up for the damage inflicted upon this war hero. I believe in the system in which I served for over 32 years, and as such, I can only hope the judge will understand the miscarriage of justice and the fraud perpetrated upon his court, and that he will vacate the conviction. If not, America owes General Michael Flynn justice, no matter how or who brings it on.